In this video, I'll demonstrate using the utility John the Ripper. Now, this is for educational purposes only. Always use ethical hacking practices. Never do this on files or systems that you do not own or have permission to do so. So what is John the Ripper? John the Ripper is a free open source password cracking tool used by hackers to retrieve clear text passwords from hashes. Remember, a hash is a one-way algorithm that passwords, instead of being stored in clear text, are stored in these hashes. Now, it's a very popular tool among security professionals and penetration testers and, unfortunately, black hat hackers because it can work across multiple platforms and crack a wide variety of password formats. So you can see here on the screen, I have a Kali Linux install. What is Kali Linux? Well, it's an open source Linux distribution designed for cybersecurity professionals, ethical hackers, penetration testers, and yes, those bad threat actors, those hackers out there also use these tools. It's based on a Debian Linux distribution, includes hundreds of preloaded tools for security auditing and penetration testing. So on my desktop, I have a couple of password protected files. So for example, I have this PDF, and let's say I don't know what the password is. I've lost it. So one thing we can do is we can use John the Ripper to extract the hash and then use a word list to go through a series of dictionary words to try to find that password. So first we need to extract the hash. So John the Ripper comes with a program to extract the hash. It's called PDF to John. Now I've already run this through practicing for the video, and so some of these commands will pop up here. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and include the name of the file that I want to extract the hash from, and then I'm going to redirect the output of this command to a file named pdf.hash. And there you go. I put it in my home directory. So if I do an ls here, you'll see that there's that PDF hash, and I can cache that PDF hash file. And there you see it has the protected.pdf, and there's the hash. Now we need to crack this hash and find the clear text password. So to do this, we're going to feed that hash file into John the Ripper. So it's going to be John, and I am going to use a word list here. Now, Kali Linux comes with a number of different predefined word lists. In fact, it even includes the famous RockU word list. RockU has hundreds of thousands of different passwords from a real security breach. Look that up sometime. It's kind of a fun story. In fact, it might even make a good discussion question. Hint, hint. But what I'm going to use is I'm going to use a different, smaller word list. Now, using John the Ripper can take a long time. It can take hours. Uh, a lot of what you see on TV just isn't accurate when it comes to penetration testing, hacking. But what I've done here is I'm using an existing fast track word list, and I'm going to go ahead and run John the Ripper now. It's a smaller list, so it'll go a lot faster. And there you go. It's actually done already. And you can see that the protected PDF has a password of capital P password 1234. Again, not a very secure password, but if you used a complex password and that password was involved in a breach, that password could end up on a word list. So again, always use complex passwords and don't reuse your password on multiple sites. Well, let's make sure it works here. So I'm going to double click on protected PDF, and I'm going to try capital P password 1234 and enter. And there you go. There is that PDF. All right, let's do the same thing, but only this time on a protected zip file. Okay, so just as we did before, we have to extract the hash from the protected zip file. And again, John the Ripper comes with a utility to do that. So this one is going to be zip to John. And again, I'm going to specify the file, protected.zip, and I'm going to put the hash, redirect that output of this command to a file named zip.hash that's in my home directory. So I'll go ahead and press enter on that. And if I take a look at the zip.hash here, you can see there, in fact, there's the hash. Now we want to crack that hash. So we're going to run the output of that zip.hash file through John the Ripper. And again, John the Ripper is really good about auto-detecting formats. So I don't even have to specify a format here. And again, in this case, I want to do the zip.hash file I just created. And again, it went through there. And lo and behold, we use the same password 1234. Let's go ahead and try it. So if I right click here and say extract here, and here it's asking us for the password. So capital P password 1234. And here you can see it extracted that file. It says, hello, this is a secret message. Okay, don't get hacked. So again, those are simple examples because these are demonstration purposes. I don't want to sit here and take hours to do this. Besides using word lists, you can let it go through and it'll try some brute force attacks. There's a lot of flexibility that you have. You can set up rules. So again, a lot of flexibility. We're just talking about the basics here. All right, I'm going to clear my screen for readability. John the Ripper can also break the hash on Linux hashed user passwords. In Linux, there's two files that deal with your password, the etc passwd file and the etc shadow file. The shadow file is the file that contains the hashed passwords. So in order to actually do this crack, what we need to do is we need to combine those two files with a special utility that comes with John the Ripper called unshadow. So let's combine those files. And to do this, I'm going to need super user privileges because I'm actually doing it on the etc passwd file and the etc shadow file on this machine. So I'm going to preface this command with sudo. And I'm going to do unshadow. And I'm going to include the etc passwd file and the etc shadow file. Now I want to redirect this output to my home directory to a file called unshadowed.txt. Okay, the file name doesn't really matter. That's just the file name I'm going with. And I'm going to go ahead and press enter. Because I'm using sudo, it's going to ask me for my Kali Linux password. Now, because this is a demonstration and I just downloaded Kali, it is actually the default password, which is really poor security. And we'll see what that password is in a second if you don't know the default Kali password, because we're about to crack this hash file. Now, I've said a couple times that John the Ripper is very good at auto-detecting the algorithm that was used, the format of these hashes, right? So this one, it's not going to actually work out so well for us. So we're going to have to give it a little bit of help. We're going to specify the format of crypt. So again, we're going to run that file that we just created through John the Ripper. So we're going to do John. In this case, we're going to add the format of crypt, we're going to use our same word list, and we're going to use unshadow.txt. So there we go. It's gone through here, and it's found users Luke, Darth, and Kali. Well, like father, like son, they both use the password of Star Wars. And the default password, you guessed it, for Kali, the username is Kali, the password is Kali. All right, there you have it. There you see the password for the users in this file. Now, we barely scratched the surface of what John the Ripper can do. In this video, we use John the Ripper to crack zip files, PDF files, and even hash Linux passwords. Remember, this is for educational purposes only. Always practice ethical hacking.